Welcome to my $100,000 stock experiment, year 2, week 21, ending September 6, 2019. This isn't an endorsement to purchase any stocks that I bought, nor an endorsement to purchase stocks in general. I'm on a mission to become a great growth stock investor. Watch me on my journey, learn from my mistakes, and celebrate my successes. According to the IBD at investors.com, the market now is in a confirmed uptrend. It went into confirmed uptrend on Thursday of this week, September 5th. This is the S&P 500 6-month chart, and I marked it up in February with these blue lines, which are basically just lines in the sand that I wanted to see the index go above. Then in July, once it had cleared those, I added these purple lines when it started to go down, and I wanted it to regain those areas. In that yellow box at number 1, basically all of August and the beginning of September, this index was just jumping all around. One day it was up, the next it was down, and it had pretty wide price swings. I drew this box last week because I wanted to wait to buy stocks until I saw some stabilization of this index and the price out of that box area. Up at that number 2, you can see Thursday and Friday, this index jumped out of that box and it's above my dash purple line. I also wanted to show you the 1-year S&P 500 index. In January, this had been down at 2350, and now we're nearing the 3,000 mark again. So while it has been not behaving well for the last month, it has come up quite a bit since January. Every week I'm listening to podcasts or watching webinars, and the webinar last week from MarketSmith was talking about the Russell 200 index. So I did want to add this in here. It tracks more the small cap, which is primarily what I'm investing in. So it has a corresponding yellow box to the S&P 500, but this index has not yet jumped above that. And I did have a blue line at it from before, around 15, 17, that I wanted to see it above, which it is still below. And it is below the red line, the 50-day simple moving average. I also watched the VIX, or the volatility index. On this one, the lower the better. It did end the week at 15, and I like to see this below 16 and ideally closer to 12. So the lower the better on this one, and it is in a good range. 2 of my stocks triggered a sell this week, Beyond Meat and Ruby, and I took a small gain in Ruby and a small loss in Beyond Meat for a total loss on these 2 stocks of $59. They did go down quite a bit from last week, and that is why they triggered the sell. But the overall gain or loss on the stock was a negative $59. And then I purchased 4 stocks. Now I'm going to review the stocks that I sold. Ruby triggered a sell on Tuesday, September 3rd. I had held it for just about 4 weeks for a 1% gain, and the stock did bounce back up above its 8-day simple moving average after I sold it. Beyond Meat triggered a sell on Friday, September 6th. I did take a loss in this. I held it just about 3 weeks, and I had about a 2% loss in it. And now I'm going to review my new purchases. I get my stock ideas from investors.com, the EIBD newspaper, and MarketSmith. I look at IPO stocks. I have a screen in MarketSmith called my tandem-like screen. When I was making my watch list on August 30th, I noticed that the near pivot list in MarketSmith had many more stocks on it than it had the previous week. It was up to around 30 stocks, where the previous week I think it had 5 or 6. 3 of the 4 stocks I bought this week were on the near pivot list. On Tuesday, I made a purchase of a stock called GPN. This stock was on the near pivot list, and I had been seeing it for several weeks on the big cap list. Last week it was number 16, but it wasn't on this week. I like that it had a nice prior uptrend that I'm showing at number 1. Number 2, it had that cup pattern. And then down at number 3, you can see the volume was also increasing on this stock. I've held my B1 purchase for 4 days, and it's up 4%. And I like this stock so much, I made a B2 purchase that I've held for 2 days, and it's up 0.2%. I did raise my floor on my B1 and my B2 to the 28-day exponential moving average. TRI, or Thomson Reuters Corporation, was also on that near pivot list. It also had a nice prior uptrend from March to June, approximately up 18%. You can see that at number 1. And then at number 2, you can see that cut pattern again. And then down at number 3, it had lots of volume. It had very many up days in a row and with increased volume. I've held this stock for 2 days and it's just up 0.1%. I also found Coupa on the near pivot list, COUP. It also had a nice prior uptrend from April to July, approximately 50%. It had that cup pattern also with that little handle, that little tail at the end there. And then it did have increased volume down at number 3. I purchased this on Thursday, the day the market went into confirmed uptrend. And I liked it so much that I made a B2, but then it went down. I did move the floor for my B1 to 28-day, and my B2 is still at 8%. So I do have a loss in this stock. My B1, I have a 0.4% loss, and my B2, I have almost a 4% loss. This stock had been on the IPO leader list for many weeks, but it was not on the list on 8/24. It was on the list of 8/17 and many weeks prior to that. The fourth stock I bought is called Luna. This stock I found on my tandem-like screen, and I did a pretend buy on this stock on August 28th, and it's basically up 6% since then, so I wish I would have done a real buy and not a pretend buy. But I did buy this stock on Friday for $6.75. It's down 1 penny from that purchase price. The number 1 is showing where I did the pretend buy, and number 2 is showing the huge increase in volume on Thursday and Friday for this stock. And also, if you look back to sort of the middle of the volume area, you can see this had very low volume, and then it's picked up the last month. My current holding bar chart looks at the $10,000 B1 purchase. That's represented by that dashed black line. So you can see that Coupa is below that. I have a loss in it. And Luna in the yellow, I also have a loss in, and TRI is just around the $10,000 mark. GPN is the big winner this week. And the 2 stocks that I've held for more than 1 week, EPRT and Paycom, those have gone down slightly from their prices last week. I then rank these holdings. I look at the charts and I ask myself if the price is going up, if the stock is above the 8 and 13-day moving averages, if the 8 days moving up faster than the 13, and is the price at a high for a week. Here's the ranking for the week. The 2 weakest stocks are the ones that I've held the longest. Paycom is the weakest with EPRT. And then for my new stocks, I thought that Coupa was weak, followed by Luna and TRI, and GPN was the strongest stock. Paycom, I have 3 buys in this stock. One I've held for 4 weeks and it's up 3.5%. One I've held just about 3 weeks and it's up 1%. And another one I've held for 2.5 weeks and it's down 2.5%. I did raise my floor on all my buys to the 28-day exponential moving average. And I did rank this as one of the weaker stocks because it's pink 8-day simple moving average and 13-day simple moving average, the green, are converging and they're coming together, and the 8-day is not moving up faster than the 13-day. Paycom is the only stock that my floor is above my purchase price, and that's really only above my B1 purchase price, so I would take a loss on the other 2 if this did sell. So for me, this is quite vulnerable time because all of my stocks, if the market drops, I would take a loss in and it would hit my bottom line. EPRT, I've held this stock for 3 weeks and it's up just about 3%, and it did close right around its 8-day simple moving average. I did raise the floor on this to the 28-day exponential moving average. I also look at my current dollar gains each week and I sort them with the loser on the top. So Coupa and Luna, I have small losses in, and TRI, I have a small gain in. My largest gain is GPN with $417. I've just held that for the 1 week. Each box here represents 1 week. Then I look at the percentage change for each holding this week. So I have 4 stocks that all took losses. Coupa, EPRT, Paycom, and Luna. Although they were small losses, they all did go down from when I purchased or from last week. GPN again is the big winner with up 4% since I purchased. Here's my industry breakdown. So I have a heavy concentration in software, the blue ones. I have Paycom where I have 3 buys and Coupa with 2 buys. And then finance, GPN, I have 2 buys in that. The other 3, the real estate, business services, and electronics, I have 1 buy in each of those sectors. My portfolio did go down this week versus the S&P 500, which did go up. In the 1 year and 21 weeks that I've been doing this, I'm up 38.9% versus the S&P up 12%. Then I look at where my gain or losses came from. I did sell 2 stocks this week, and those stocks changed $1,446 since last week. My new purchases, I have a gain of $153 this week. And then my existing holdings, I have a $72 loss this week. So that's where that approximately $1,300 change came from. At the end of week 21, year 2, I have $56,000 in cash. I can sit tight. I can buy some new stocks, or I can do B2 and B3s in stocks where I haven't made those purchases yet. I think the most important thing right now is to create a watch list, which I haven't done yet. So I'm encouraging you to go create your watch list while I go create mine. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for my next episode, or better yet, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell if you want an alert when I post a new episode.